جايين من كل مكان للصويرة زينة البلدان زوروا نرجع فرحان.
When Hashem gave us the Torah, after we left Egypt, you should know that the reason why we left Egypt, it was only that we should receive the Torah. I mean, as we said in the Pirkei Avot, העולם עומד על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. The word stand for the Torah, tefillah, avodah is to pray, and gemilut hasadim, to do good things. What it is the Torah? This is something that we have to understand. Why Hashem, all his concern is that the Jew should study Torah. Not only to live according to the Torah, but to study. To study. Well, there was somebody in New York that he was a doctor in Iran. He was a doctor. He's Jewish. But when he came to America, he forgot to bring with him all the papers, his certificate, everything. So when he arrived, he said, I am a doctor. So they told him, prove me, you are a doctor. I mean, otherwise you have to study all over again. I mean, you can't. To be a doctor, you need a certificate. You see, to be a good Jew, you need a certificate. The certificate is the Torah. The Torah. A lot of times it happens that you travel. When you travel, you have to show the passport in the border. But imagine that in the passport there is no picture. They will not accept it. Because there is no proof that it's David Pinto. Because there is no picture in the paper. Just, let's say, if you show them just the picture and not the passport, the same. There is no proof that it's David Pinto. We have only the picture. So you need both of them. And the picture and the passport. You need both of them. Your name and the picture. Both of them. So the Torah is the name. The Torah is the name. This is what we should understand. The Torah is the name. And you is the picture. You are the picture, but the Torah is your name. So you have to be named after the Torah. That way is very important. That you should learn Torah. Because the Torah will show you your identity, your identity. That it will give you what it is, your identity. I'm sorry, yesterday, I received somebody yesterday, and it was the first time in his life that he saw a Sefer Torah. He never saw a Sefer Torah in his life. Never. Why he came to see me? Because he has no option. No, because he is very, very ill, and somebody told him, go to receive a bracha. So he came, because otherwise, no kippur, nothing, no kosher, nothing. He's only Jewish by name. That's it. He's Jewish by name. When I told him, you know what's this? You know what he said? He said, what's this? I said, it's a Sefer Torah. And he said, Sefer Torah? What's this Sefer Torah? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Poor man. He doesn't know. So, there is something that a lot of times we ask people, and people ask us, or ask people, do you study Torah? And some people ask us, why I have to study Torah? So, the reason why we have to study Torah is to identify our identity. Otherwise, are you Jewish? Okay, everybody is Jewish, but a Jew, it's something. I have to tell you something. You know, in the Megillah it said, O Mordechai Yehudi, the Mordechai Jew. We never saw in the Torah that we treat somebody Jewish. Moshe, Aaron is Aaron. Understand? If you talk about Beit Tzadikim, well, okay, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Baal Shem Tov, we don't say Baal Tanya the Jew. No, على تانية, على Shalom, that's it. When you talk about Tzaddik, you mention his name. You never mention the word Jew. But in the Megillah, when you talk about Mordechai, the Megillah, every time it mentioned, oh, Mordechai Yehudi, and the Mordechai the Jew. I mean, why Mordechai Yehudi? We never saw such a thing about any prophet. We have a lot of names in the Torah, a lot of names, and never the Torah mentioned the name of a prophet or the name of a bigger man, Jew. Why? So why we mention Mordechai Yehudi? I was thinking because Mordechai was the only one that he showed that he was Jewish. He was not shy to show that he was Jewish. At his generation, the people decided to hide themselves, decided to hide their identity. But Mordechai or Mordechai Yehudi, Yoshev B'Sha'ar HaMelech, and the Mordechai, the Jew, was sitting at the gate of the palace. The gate of the palace. Why in the gate of the palace? Why what he was doing in the gate of the palace? You know what? Because Mordechai, he knew that Ahasuerus, the king, he was the king of 127 nations. And of course, can you imagine a king, a big king, that is the king of 127 nations? That means there is 127 kings. And always people they come to see the king, Ahasuerus. So he was sitting at the gate so he can show himself. So of course people would look at this funny face, a Jew with a head, with a beard. Who's that? He's a Jew. He's a Jew. Or Mordechai Yehudi. He was the one to show. I mean, this is what Mordechai Yoshev B'Sha'ar. Mordechai was sitting at the gate of the palace, that anyone that come in or get out from the palace, he see him. And he wanted to show his identity. And the identity of a Jew is the Torah. Sometimes, one day somebody told me, Rabbi David, can you tell me why it's necessary that I have to study Torah? I'm Jewish. I keep Shabbat. I keep religion. Why I have to study? And I know I was in the yeshiva. And Baruch Hashem, I know everything. I know all the halachot. I know what bracha to do for this, what blessing to do for that. But why there is an obligation to study Torah? Even 10 minutes, 5 minutes. You know, I was looking at him. I told him, when you have a headache, what do you take? He said, I take aspirin. I told him, take aspirin. What proof you have that the aspirin will help you? He said, well, what proof I have? Because a lot of times I had headaches, and I took an aspirin, and it helped. So I told him, well, but you believe in Hashem? He said, yes. I told him, do you do everything 100%? He said, no. I said, why no? The aspirin, it helps you at 100%. And why you don't believe in Hashem at 100%? Why? You just said now that when you have a headache, you take an aspirin, and that gives you a relief, that helps you. And the headaches go away. So why you don't believe in Hashem, or why you don't do Torah and mitzvot at 100%? Why? He said, well, I know. You know why? Because you don't study the Torah. Because the Torah, it gives you, it shows you, it proves you, it will prove you your own identity between you and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It will help you to believe at 100% HaKadosh. So somebody told me at that conversation, but I study Torah every day. I study 1 hour. And sometimes I have doubt. I said, that hour that you study that hour really an hour? Really are you concentrated on the study? The Torah is a medication. The same way that aspirin can give you a relief, the Torah as well. It's the same. Zot Hokat HaTorah. This is the law of the Torah. The Torah is an aspirin. You will not understand. Just do it. Just do it. And this is the reason why Hashem, when the Jewish people, before they left Egypt, HaKadosh Baruch Hu told them, the reason why I delivered you from Egypt, why I'm going to take you out from the hand of Pharaoh, only that I can give you the Torah. I can give you laws that they will connect me between you and me. I would like to tell you something, a beautiful image. You have two candidates to be president. One is Democrat, one is conservative. One is Republic, one is Democrat. Just you have two candidates. Well, everyone he propose his propositions. What I will do when I will be elected. When I be president, I do this. When I be president, I said, when I be president, I do this. So now you choose. You have two people, two future presidents. One of them is going to be president. It cannot be two. Only one. Or this one or this one. So now you choose. Then you choose. Then you vote for, let's say, for the Republic. You vote for him. And then after you realize that he's not for you, what's all your dreams about him, you don't respect them. So what do? You start hating him. You say, well, next time I will vote for the other one. So every 4 years people change. Every 4 years people change for one did this one did this one did this one did this one. Hashem said to the Jews, when I give you the Torah, there will be one election. There will be one, me. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. Through the Torah, there will be no two president, Has v'Shalom, no two gods, Has v'Shalom. The first thing Hashem said, V'lo yira'eh Elohim acherim al panai. When you will elect me, the Matan Torah, and I will be your God, your king, I will be the only one. There will be no other. There will be no challenge. There will be no two with me. I'll be only one for all your life. You cannot change me. The same way I cannot change you, you cannot change me. So that was the reason why Hashem delivered the Jews from Egypt. To give them the Torah, to be their king for life, for generation, but to feel that Hashem is the king, give you laws. Like Lehavdil, this president, he said, well, I will be elected. This is my program. This is the laws that I will put. So Hashem, he proposed the Torah, and what the Jews said, Na'aseh v'nishma. We do, we listen. We do, that means before we listen, we already accept to do. We will not change you for another one. Now, this is what I wanted to teach you. Now, you understand what was the reason. A Torah, it gives you your identity toward who is Hashem. Hashem, He is the one that gives the laws. He is the one that you elected Hashem. You know, my friend, I want to just tell you this. When the Jews left Egypt, they left Egypt for the reason to receive the Torah. But the election was Matan Torah. Matan Torah, they said, Na'aseh v'nishma. So, who won? Hashem. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. It was exactly like the election Lehavdil. Now there is something that before the Matan Torah, the Jews reach a level that you cannot understand. The Torah said, Vaye'u et hakolot, they saw the voices. You know, you can see the fire. You can see people. You can see a diamond. You can see whatever I show you, you can see. You can see a box, if I show you a box. But to see a voice, it's impossible. You cannot see a voice. What that means? Vaye'u et hakolot. They saw the voice. I mean, what kind of voice? You can hear a voice, but to see the voice, it's impossible. You cannot see the voice. So there is a lot of rabbis that they explain that at that moment, when Hashem said, Anochi, I am Hashem, there was no man, no Jew that he was ill. Those who were blind, they saw. Those who couldn't hear, they hear. Those who cannot walk, they walk. Those who cannot talk, they talk. Because all Jews said Na'aseh, will do. How can you do if you don't see? How can you do if you don't listen? How can you do if you can't walk? How can you do if you are paralyzed? How can you do if you cannot move? So that means that Hashem, all the Jews at that time, they become well. I mean, they become, they become healthy. I mean, it was a big, big miracle. That was, listen to this, that was something that put them to think something. Just imagine somebody that he was slave in Egypt. They were all slaves. But just imagine somebody that he had no hands, no arms, or no legs, without legs, because a big stone fell in his legs and he cut his leg. Just imagine. When Hashem said, "Do you want to accept the Torah?" They said, "Na'aseh v'nishma." They said, "Yes." All of them said it. That means that man that has no leg, the leg grew. It was a miracle. But now we have a problem. How can you see a voice? There is a beautiful book, Kabbalist book. It's called Hovot HaLevavot. It said that a man who fear Hashem and he follow the step of Hashem and he love Hashem and he will not do nothing against Hashem, Hashem, he give him back. He give him back something incredible. What? That man, he will change. He become Hashem. He become like all those tzaddikim that whatever they want, they get. Just Baal Shem Tov, he wanted to wash his hand before doing mincha. He did not find water. What he did, he took his stick, he put it in the floor, he digged the floor, the water came. I know a lot of rabbis that did. I know another rabbi that he wanted to do a mikveh. He was in the desert. And then he told people, wait here. And he went behind a mountain. When he came back, he was wet. He told him, you are wet? Yes, I did the mikveh. Where? He did not answer. I'm telling you, like there was a man here yesterday who came, and he was gonna have a big heart operation, but the doctors told him this heart operation, it's 95% dangerous. Maybe 5% you will live. But yes, so he took the risk. He said, well, I do the operation, but I will go to ask a bracha. So last year he came for a bracha. He told me, I remember he told me all. I said, well, if you have 5% that you will live, and you have 95% that you will die, but take the risk. But if you believe in Hashem, maybe there will be no operation. He started to cry. He said, I want to live. I want to see the simcha of my children. I said, so pray. Pray. Yesterday he came. He did not do the operation. When he made the last checks, they saw that all the valve, everything was perfect. He did the scan. No one understands. Now he has another problem. He's getting blind. So I told him, well, do the same way. Pray the same way we prayed last year. You see, the tzaddikim, they don't need to feel. They feel. I mean, you have ear to listen. You have eyes to see. But those tzaddikim, because they are so much in contact with Hashem, so they see without the eyes, they listen without the ear, they can talk without talking, even if they don't. I mean, it's like in the other world. In the other world, there is nobody. You have the body only here. When a man dies, he don't go up with his body. His body, because the body is a material body. It's a gashmi. It's your body. To maintain your body, you have to eat. You have to drink. You need air. Otherwise, you die. Otherwise, you die. ויראו את הקולות. The Jews at that time, they become other people. They become like malachim. They become like angels. That they did not need the body to feel. They did not the body to see. They did not need the ear to hear. So, ויראו את הקולות. So they saw the voices. Because they become other people, like at Tzaddik. At Tzaddik, there was a big Tzaddik. When he was a baby, you see, when he became very well known, so there was a friend that he did not see him for 50 years or 60 years. He came to see him. He told him, "Hey, Rebbe, do you remember me?" He said, "No, who are you?" "I am X." "Ah, yes, we were friends." So the man said, "You remember when you used to run, when you used to play football together?" He started to remind him what, he's, when he was a child. You remember when you went to the kitchen to your mother and you stole from there 2 apples and give me 1. He started to, so he told him, the Rebbe, "Yeah, I was what I was. Now I am what I am." So he told him, "Is it true or what I heard about you today? That you see things, you are a Rebbe?" So he looked at him, he said, "This is our duty in this world, to change from materialist to spiritual. This is, otherwise, there is no reason why we came to this world. And for that, we need Torah. Torah changed you. The Torah changed the people. I was what I was. I am what I am. And this is the reason why Hashem, He obligate everyone, every Jew, to study Torah. Because to live in this world without the Torah, it's like having a headache and you don't have an aspirin. You will still have the headache. And you will still have the headache. It's impossible without the Torah. It's impossible to live without the Torah. And this is Hashem, because sometimes you may have an argument against Hashem. Yes, Hashem, it's not my fault. There is a tzara, there is a big tzara. Why you created the tzara? So Hashem, you can answer him, yes, but I give you a medication. I give you the Torah. I would like to tell you a beautiful Dvar Torah about Lavan, the brother of Rivka. I do not understand. Rivka, she was 3 years old. Yes or no? When she left, when she left the house of her parent to marry Yitzhak, she was a big tzaddiket. Yes or no? I mean, Lavan, he knew that she was a tzaddiket. Yes or no? Don't tell me he did not know. He saw his sister. He was the older brother. I mean, then he saw all the miracles that happened to her. And then he saw all the story about Eliezer, how he came, how he met, and then they allowed her to go with Eliezer to marry Yitzhak. Yes or no? Yeah. I mean, Laban, he was not jealous. He knew the reality. If he did not believe in Abraham and Yitzhak, he will not give his sister to a stranger. I mean, I do not understand. Yeah, so you see, why it didn't change? The answer is, he was not jealous. For him to become like his sister, that's not his life. It's not his preference. No, for him, no. Why? You know why? Because to become like Rivka, to follow the steps of Rivka, you have to leave the material world. You cannot have both of them. You cannot be Rivka and Lavan. You cannot be Yaakov and Esav. You have to choose, or Yaakov or Esav, or Esav or Yaakov. You cannot be both of them. You cannot be both of them. He chose his way. So, he chose his way. I mean, can you imagine? And after, he meets his nephew, Yaakov. Yaakov was the son of Rivka, his sister. I mean, he saw Yaakov, a big tzaddik. He saw him studying Torah all the time. He was honest. Well, if he didn't, how can he not learn from him? How? I mean, can you imagine? He saw miracles. He saw that since Yaakov came, he became billionaire. You know, Lavan, he had no children. And since Yaakov came to his house, he had children. Why he didn't learn from him? Besides this, when Yaakov ran away from Lavan, and Lavan, he ran after him to catch him, to bring him back. And Hashem appeared in the dream of Lavan, and he told him, don't hurt Yaakov. If you hurt Yaakov, I kill you. I mean, you see Lavan that he had a dream of Hashem. On the other hand, you see the success of Yaakov, that he was his nephew, the son of Rivka, that she was his sister. I mean, why you don't change? You know why? Because the reason is, what I told you before. Only the Torah can change you. And to study Torah, you have to do a sacrifice. Only Torah can change you. He didn't want. He didn't want to change. He wanted to remain as he was. He wanted to remain as he was. You know, I want to tell you something. You know, when Rivka, she left, when Rivka left Lavan, Lavan gave her a good bracha. He said, my sister, I pray for you that you will have success, that you will have big generation, that your descendants, they'll be tzaddikim, they'll be well. He gave him a bracha. You know what happened? What happened? For more than 37 years, Rivka, she could not be pregnant. Why? So that the people will not say that she was pregnant from the bracha of Lavan. First, till everything was forgotten, then she had Rivka, then Rivka had Lavan, Yaakov and Esav. My question is, who cares? So let him give a bracha. Hashem will not listen to his bracha. I mean, who cares? So people can say that she was pregnant from Lavan. She was pregnant from the bracha of Lavan. So what? So what? The answer is, Hashem, He wanted exactly that we should learn that a bracha can come only from a man that he has Torah. A man who has no Torah, there is no bracha. It's very important that the world should know that a bracha can come only from a man who has Torah, a tzaddik who studied Torah. And because Lavan, he did not study Torah, and he knew the truth, he knew the reality, he knew that there is Hashem, he knew that Abraham Abinu is the tzaddik of the generation, so Yitzhak, so Yaakov, but he has no Torah. And because he has no Torah, so Hashem, he didn't want that the world will even doubt that the bracha of Lavan did an impact on Rivka. Why? Because he has no Torah. He has no Torah. This is very, very important. At that time, Lavan was like a Rebbe. Yes, he was like a Mikubal. You know, he was very, 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 very tameh. From the Tum'ah, he did the miracles, Lavan. So Hashem didn't want that people will follow him. That the family, the descendants of Lavan, the children of Yaakov, they will follow. Our grandfather, he blessed. Our grandmother, Rivka to have children, she had children. No, it's not for a blessing. No. So from here you see that a man has a choice to be good or to be bad. Lavan, you see his sister, Tzaddiket. She's the age of 3. He was older than her. He heard about Abraham and Yitzhak, that they were related. And he remained a Rasha, he remained a bad man. Even that, he was happy that Rivka now she's going to go away from him. Because he couldn't support that religious woman in the house. Let her go. Let her go do her life. My friend, this is the Torah. This is, my friend, by Oitakud, these are the voices. Hashem, He gives the Jews, because the Torah gives you life. So Hashem, He showed the Jews life, what it is life. Show them something that you cannot see, the voice. Wish you well, bracha v'atzlacha. God bless you.